Congrats for making it this far. This is our final day of the challenge. Of course, my goal is that you take all these skills and habits that you've learned, you continue learning, and you continue implementing them. I will go through just a little review of what we've done so far. I'm going to leave you with the 4 Ps, as well as some other tools of where you can continue learning and growing from here. I am not an expert. I'm just teaching you what I've done to have people consistently book on my calendar, what I've done to grow a 6-figure business in the insurance industry in about a year. So it's been such a journey. Of course, with any business, you have to put the work in. There's going to be times when you doubt. There's going to be times when you feel uncomfortable. But if you continue to show up, if you continue to build your consistency muscle, you will win here. You will find your place. You will find your niche, and you'll be able to help a ton of people with something that's incredibly important. Life insurance, investing, protecting, learning how to save money. Those are incredibly important things. I believe so deeply in what we do, but too many people do not have these things taken care of. Too many people are overpaying for terrible insurance and they don't know that. Too many people don't have enough coverage and their family is at risk. And we know that a GoFundMe will never equal the same as having proper protection. Too many people don't have critical illness or disability protection, and they're going to get injured or sick and have their lives completely devastated because they didn't have the proper protection in place. And we know that 74% of Americans and Canadians do not have enough saved for retirement. In fact, they have less than $100,000 saved. We know that those are the stats and that it's terrible out there, but we also know that people are so tired of being sold. They have incredible sales resistance. So these are ways that we can lower that sales resistance and get in front of them to help them. It's sad because there is a lot of people in the industry that haven't been taught how to properly help people, and they are out there selling people crappy plans. They are out there not doing the right thing. They are motivated by commission instead of mission. So our goal is always to go in with mission first, to help people save money, to help people be in a better financial position. But in order to do that, we have to talk to humans. We have to find a way to get in front of them. So what we've been doing the last 14 days, I hope, has been helpful for you to get your mind and your marketing muscle working so that you can feel confident to start implementing some of these steps and helping more people. Again, I talk about the 3 pillars, building a 3-legged stool in your business. This is a business. This is not a job. This is not show up, do X, get Y. This is a place where you have to sometimes plant a lot of seeds, push that boulder up the hill for a long time, and maybe not see results. So it's really important to focus on your daily activity because those results will come, but we never know if and when, how fast. Okay. So you've got to push that boulder up the hill. And then at some point, it's going to be like chasing a boulder down the hill. At some point, those seeds are going to take, and you are going to be able to be successful here. And hopefully building that consistency muscle will give you enough confidence that you know you deserve to win here. You know that you're doing the right thing for people and families, and people will eventually see that. So when I'm working, again, we're building that 3-legged stool, which I think is something that you should do for any business. When I built my multi-million-dollar automotive business, this is how I did it. When I've built other businesses, this is how I did it. So those skills you can use in any business. It's just the words that you use, the how changes a little bit. So you've got outreach. Outreach consists of your warm market and even cold market. You've got to find ways to talk to people. How can I talk to human beings? It's no good to know all about insurance and have a heart to serve people, but you never actually implement a plan. You never actually talk to a human being. It will not help anyone for you to have all of that knowledge locked inside your head. So we've got outreach, which consists of your warm market. Those are the people that you care about. Oftentimes people are scared to talk to their warm market because they fear rejection. They feel like they're going to be judged. But if you know you're doing the right thing for people, those are the people that you should be serving first. If they choose to not go ahead with it, that's on them. But if they were to pass away, if they were to get sick, disabled, have a retirement where they don't have enough money, and you did never talk to them, you have not done your job. You have not served them. So I challenge you to put your ego aside and do the right thing for those people. You need to at least give them the opportunity to talk to you. The best way to do that is using the scripts that we have in our training manual. We want to be able to create an environment where we're able to effectively approach those people and get in front of them to show them what we do. And so if you don't know what those scripts are, if you don't know where to find them, please reach out to me or your trainer so that we can help you. I will help you make those calls. I will help anyone on the team make those calls that they want to do that with. I will never leave you alone to do that if you ask for help. Now, you also have cold outreach, which we've been going through, right? You're going to have to do a lot more volume to get any result. But hey, if you're not making money in your business, instead of watching TV, instead of doing other things that fill your time but do not have a potential of presenting income for your family, I say no harm, no foul, go for it. There's been times when I have messaged 200 people in a day. Now, what do you message them? Of course, we want to talk about what's effective, and we've gone through lots of tools to do that. We have lots of tools and boards of how should you reach out to people like that. And again, I will help anyone that wants help directly with that. Then you have attraction, which we've been spending a lot of time on in the last 14 days. This is where you're starting to build content. You're starting to use your voice. You're speaking to your niche, your ideal person, your ideal customer, who's probably a few steps behind of where you were because you're best equipped to help them. If you can find that word, if you can find that niche and you start to speak to them, you will find that people are reaching out to you. The riches are in the niches. And I'm Canadian, so I say niches, but it doesn't rhyme. But I do have people reach out to me every single day and book an appointment with me. It's an incredible place to be, but it took me some time to build that. I had to commit to my daily method of operation. I had to commit to feeling uncomfortable and putting that content out there day after day, regardless of the result. I had to do that, and I had to do it long enough until it started to provide fruit. I got little fruit along the way, but it never really hit a momentum stage until I had been doing it at least for a year. It might be faster for you. It might be slower for you. It just depends. I can't predict that. But what I can say is that if you commit to it, I've seen it happen with enough people that it will work. You just have to commit to that activity regardless of the result. And then number 3 is leads or marketing. So this is where you're actually buying leads or you're putting out ads. I have some great people I can refer you to that can do live transfers. We can post Facebook ads for you. We have people that we've sort of vetted that can provide hopefully at least a cheaper solution than you just going out on the open market and or a little bit more quality. But leads is something that will not solve your problem. It is often a big investment up front and a little return. You really have to know how to work leads. You really have to be committed to investing that money for long enough until you get enough. So you might have to do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months before you ever get a repayment of that investment. And so I always caution people with that because oftentimes people will say, what do you have for leads? Because it feels safer and it feels easier. But there is no shortcut in business. There is no easy button. You have to, I believe, build a 3-legged stool. You can use leads to increase your chance of volume, to increase your repetitions, to increase your numbers. And yes, they can be effective, but it will not solve your problem. You will need to build a solid business plan, in my experience. So the 4 Ps. So Ray Higdon, again, is someone that I've learned a ton from. This is his 4 Ps. I very much encourage you to continue learning. So a couple places that I find really good value in. Ray Higdon, Higdon University. He's got a ton of courses. Everything I've ever done of his, I find value in. This book from Alex Hermosi, this is a really good basics of how do you get started marketing? What are the things that you need to do? It is a lot of what we've talked about, just said in a different way. So this might help you connect some of those dots. I encourage you to read this. His podcast is really good, so is his wife's, but I would say it's more advanced. So if you're just starting out, if you're just starting to learn how to reach out to people and build that marketing stool, I would start with this book. I would start with Ray Higdon. I would go back, if you're listening to Ray Higdon's podcast, I would go back to like 2017 and start listening to his stuff. He's got lots of basics in there. And as you go along in the journey with him, it's going to become more advanced. He's doing some great stuff right now. If you listen to 2023, I will say he was a new Christian and it went very Christian, which is great. I'm not against Christianity. I'm a Christian. I'm not against, talking about and trying to help people connect with that. But it became less effective training. But in the last few months, he's kind of got back on track where he's presenting some really good, just fundamental, how do you market your business? How do you get your mindset right? And so I really recommend, he's got his Facebook, he's got a podcast, which is called Home Business Profits. You could go on his Facebook, you can join Rank Makers if you want. In there, he goes live every day and presents action tools, kind of like we've done in the challenge. I very much recommend it. It's, I think, $29 a month. Best investment I've ever made. I became a lifer at one point where he'll do kind of little times where you could pay like a $600 or I don't remember how much it was and just never pay again. I was like, I am never canceling my Rank Makers membership, so I'm just going to pay this and be done with. I will never not learn from Ray. I have learned so much and got so much value from him and all of the coaches that he brings into that group. So if you're looking or ready to make a small investment in that kind of learning, I would recommend starting there. And then another place that I've learned a lot, it just helped me hone my sales skills a little bit more for actual appointments, is NEPQ. So Jeremy Lee Minor, he's got some great stuff on YouTube on tonality, on pausing, on being able to identify the gap when you're in a sales call. So him, and he was partnered with a gentleman called Matthew. That doesn't seem right in my head, but it's not coming to me fast enough. Once you start Googling him in YouTube, you'll see some of the videos, and it's really good content. So I'm NEPQ 3.0 cert, like I went through that course. It is very expensive, but he does have a lot of free content that I found very effective without paying. So those are my recommendations for other tools to advance beyond what we've done here. And again, any of these things, I'm more than happy to always help you. If you want to reach out, I will help you do calls. I will help direct you to the staff, but you've got to also participate in that learning process, which you are because you're watching this video. So proud of you. You are someone that wants to win. And so I'm willing to help you do that. Okay, so we're going to talk about Ray's 4 Ps today. We've kind of done a little overview of what we've done in the last 14 days. I encourage you to continue on with that. Get real strong in your DMO. What's your daily method of operation? That is very, very important. And just knock it out. The more you do that, the better it's going to be. Remembering that mindset is really the most important part of all of this. That mindset of showing up for yourself, that mindset of saying, I commit to this regardless of the outcome. I commit to this until I win, knowing that you're going to win and committing to it, not doing it for 2 weeks and saying, no one messaged me, I quit. Okay, you're better than that. You have that why. Remember that why. You're going to have moments when you have a doubt and confusion, and that's okay. But pull out that why, give it a read again, and recommit yourself to just quit tomorrow. Just quit tomorrow. Just quit tomorrow. All right, so we're going to talk about the 4 Ps. So the 4 Ps is something that Ray uses. I've seen it in different sales classes in different ways, but his perspective on it is a little bit different. So you've got the pipeline. That's how many people you're talking to, how many people you're talking to. They're coming into your sort of funnel, if you want to call it that. And then posture. So this one is something that I really value how Ray puts it. So a lot of people think of posture as like, I'm above the person I'm prospecting. I have to maintain my dominance almost. Old school sales is very much about dominance, pushing people into a result, pigeonholing them in. And that can be effective in the moment. However, you will not keep clients that way. You will not maintain a profitable business that way. So in insurance, we have something called chargebacks. That's where if someone in the US cancels their policy within a year, and in Canada 2 years, you're going to get back a chargeback. The insurance company that paid you is going to say, I'm sorry, this person did not keep their policy. You owe us some of that commission back. It's basically like they've returned their product. And the way to not have that happen is to make sure you're always selling the appropriate thing to people. Don't oversell them. Make sure that you're looking at their budget. Make sure that you're understanding their need. Don't sell everyone the biggest, baddest policy because they will not be able to keep it. But also it's understanding the person, actually connecting to them, and being a person that's helping them figure out the solution of what's best for them. I often say there's no wrong answer to clients. It's just a matter of you understanding the pros and cons and then picking what you think is the best. And that's my job, I feel like, is to help them figure that out. I'm going to show them a couple of options. I'm going to clearly identify the pro cons and help them make a decision. That's what my job is to help them figure out what's important to them and what they feel like they need and can commit to for the long term. So posture is not about being dominant in the conversation, but it is about knowing, having a confidence with yourself that what you have is the prize, not them. And so sometimes, especially when people are starting and we're doing their training appointments, they'll come to that appointment with the energy of like, thank you so much, Susie, for coming to this appointment. We appreciate you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, this is Colleen. She's my trainer. And I just really, she's great. But oh, thank you again, Susie, for coming to this appointment. Now Susie is going to come to the appointment. She's like, I am the best king. Now they have the posture. And it's almost like the trainer's like groveling and, hey, thank you so much for looking at this thing. And it just devalues what we're doing. What we do is good. What we do for families, when I sit down with someone and I save them hundreds of dollars a month, which would equal thousands of dollars throughout their lifetime, when I move them from an investment that's making 2% to an investment that has a 10-year history of 10%, when I sit down with someone and say, hey, what would happen if you passed away? How would your family survive that? And they say to me, oh, I've never thought about that. And I help them realize the importance of them having protection so that their family is not suffering if, God forbid, they were to pass away. That is huge value. What we do is so important. I know what we do is good work for people. I know the carriers we work with give great options. I know when I sit down with a client, I've got great options in my pocket. We work with over 40 carriers. I know that I'm looking at it through the lens of finding something for that client that really does fit them. Now, that's not the way it is for every insurance company. There is insurance companies out there for sure that don't have the tools in the toolbox, that don't have the best product, that don't have the best options for the client. But I know that we have that heart to serve, that we do have really good options. I know what we're doing is the right thing for the client. And so I know what I have is the prize versus the prospect. What they choose to do with it is their choice, and that's okay. Not everyone is going to move forward. Of course, I'm always trying to hone my skills, learn things like 3.0 so that I can help that person see the gap better and move to a decision better. But in the end, what I have is valuable, and I'm never going to beg someone or be in that position of making it like devaluing what we're doing. Same thing for our opportunity. What we do is not for everyone. Everyone should not do what we do. But for the people that we sit in front of that do not have enough for retirement, that maybe hate their job and want to do something different, maybe love their job, but they never are going to make enough money there, maybe want to be able to work from home like me and support their children better, that want to be able to travel more and be able to create an income that fits the size of their dreams instead of fitting their dreams into the size of their paycheck. I know that our opportunity, our company, because of the compensation model that we have, because of the ownership that we have, ownership, 3 levels of ownership, which mostly no other companies have. I'm a shareholder in this company after 1 year. It's amazing. I know what we do. No company is perfect, but I know that what we're offering for opportunity is far above anything else I've seen. And that the heart of our company is to give people the best opportunity. I know that. So when I'm sitting down with someone that's looking at our company, I know that what we offer is amazing. And so that's posture, knowing that what you have is the prize, not the prospect. That doesn't mean that you're aggressive or arrogant, but it is having a silent confidence inside, not letting that person throw you off if they're kind of like, to you. It's okay. Maybe they're having a bad day. Let them figure out their own stuff, but do not lose confidence in what you do and what we provide for families and what we provide for opportunity. Then position is knowing where the prospect is at and acting accordingly. So this one is super important, especially when we're messaging people, because oftentimes people will not respond. And then you continue to push on that same position, not realizing that you actually need to move back. So whatever the last thing was that that person kind of agreed to, that is the position that you have to fall back to. So let me explain this. Let's say they've raised their hand to you that they want information. You send them the CTA delay. You're like, hey, cool. I'd love to connect you with more on that. Can I ask you what has been your journey with debt solutions, or what are you doing for income right now? And they don't respond. You're not at position 2. You're back at position 1. Okay. You've got to go back to the original message of like, hey, I know that you wanted to talk about this. Has something changed? Right? Or let's say they've answered you. They said that they were going to watch the video. They're supposed to meet you on Tuesday. And now they're ghosting you. You have to go back a step. You can't just keep messaging them. Did you watch the video yet? Did you watch the video yet? Hey, let me know when you watch that video. You have to go back to the original position of, hey, you were saying that debt was a problem for you. Has that changed? Has something changed? Right? And so you've got to take it back a step. You got to know what position you're in. And it's not, if they've fallen off, it's not the position you think you're at. You got to go back a step. Okay. This can also be a lot of times that people are ghosting me. I am just going to take that off the table. I'm going to say, hey, I'm not sure if you're like me and you got super busy and you just forgot to reply. I do it all the time. Something like that, that is also in boards. And then they're going to message back. They're going to say, oh my goodness, yes, I've been so busy. It's been crazy. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. But if I keep just saying, hey, did you watch that video? Hey, do you want to rebook that meeting? Blah, 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 blah. They're just going to ignore me. And it becomes more of a wall. So I've got to go backwards. I say, hey, I don't know if you're like me and you got super busy or just forgot to reply. And normally they will answer you. So know the position you're at. And then perspective is just seeing the results that you want to have, mentally rehearsing your success. That mentality that you bring to the meeting is so important. See them saying yes, see them seeing it positively, see them moving forward, and you're going to bring a completely different energy to that meeting. All of this is something that we can dive into deeper as you go through your journey. But I want to know, as you went through this 14-day challenge, did you have a breakthrough? Did you learn something? Did any clues come to how you're going to create your success? I hope it did. If you have things that are still standing out, I'd love to hear about it, but I hope this served you value. I hope those 4 Ps serve you value. That's kind of the little wrap up of everything. Just knowing where you are in the position of all of this. People are going to ignore you. People are going to say no. That's okay. But people are also going to say yes. People are also going to say yes. You're going to help a ton of people if you keep showing up for yourself. If you keep showing up for your business, you will help tons of people. We will save tons of people money, and we will make your family a lot of money so that you can get your why accomplished, whatever that means to you. Whether you came here because you wanted to earn an extra $1,000 a month, or if you wanted to earn $10,000 plus, it's possible here. We've seen it happen time and time again. Just this week, we had a team member message me. She was so excited. She got a comma check on Friday. We get paid again multiple times a week, but she made over $1,000 in one pay cycle. For her, she was so excited. She just turned her Christmas into a cash Christmas instead of a credit card Christmas. That was a huge deal. She's a part-time agent. Her goal is to make extra money. And, we've got other people like myself where I'm like, I'm all in, I'm full time. This is my thing. I want to make 10 grand plus a month all the time. I want to make 50 grand a month. That's what I want to do. I've got goals attributed to that. I've got travel I want to do. I've got people I want to help with that money. So whatever it is that you want to do in this business, that's okay. We love you. We want to support you in figuring out that goal and figuring out how to do it. So I hope the last 14 days that we spent together was helpful. I hope you learned something. I encourage you highly to connect deeper with those tools, with those people that I learned so much from and continue to learn from. And again, I wish you all of the success in your business. And I'm so excited to walk into the next year with you and to see you reach so many of those goals that you've set. I know that it's possible. I know that you can do it. And I hope these steps have helped you get there.